So on the first of this month, I made a video, you know, breaking down, giving predictions for the energy that we are in, for the new timeline we entered that started on the 1st of October. Because that is the birthday of Nigeria. For those who are wondering why I say 1st October, that is the birthday of Nigeria. And that indicates the beginning of every timeline for every year cycle. So officially, Nigeria just entered into 2025 on the 1st of October. So throughout of last month, going backwards and all that stuff, we were in the 2024 timeline. We've officially entered the 2025 timeline. And I emphasized on the fact that the energy is Jupiter. And I said a lot of things that Jupiter means that we are going to be seeing. Religion, education, imperialism, colonialism, invasion specifically, because I said that Jupiter is currently in Cancer. By transit, is currently in Cancer. Cancer is your village, is your home, your hometown, your village, yes. And that's, in Cancer is where Nigeria has Mars, which is the planet of terrorists. And then Jupiter is the planet of foreigners, foreign invaders. That's what it is. And it's brewing right now. It is brewing seriously. And all of that stuff that Trump is saying about wanting to intervene, this is their energy in disguise. They are not coming to save any Christians, no. It's a recolonization. I told you people that Jupiter is colonization. And I said that all of these things I say is happening. And also, there was the death of a certain religious head. I don't want to mention the name of the person, but a follower of mine, a subscriber also on this channel that also follows me on Instagram, said, DM me and said, oh, that prediction that I made about so and so about religious head dying and stuff like that, that one died recently as of the time he DM'd me. And you people know the religious head that died this month, you understand? So, and a lot of other things that I also said. And I said that because Jupiter is currently here in Cancer, and you look at the ruler of Cancer, which is the moon. Nigeria has the moon in Aquarius. Aquarius is revolution, rebellion, revolutions, protests. Currently, now, there's a protest going on about a young girl that was raped. And whatever act that was carried led to her death. And I also told people on my Facebook that, look, the sun is in Scorpio. When the sun moves into Scorpio, the beginning of the season is actually Libra. That is when the veil between the living and the dead begins to thin. And I often tell people that when it starts like that, we often notice the death of one celebrity or one public figure in the West normally dies. And we notice the assassination of something, Kirk, something like that. He spelled Kirk, was shot while he was on stage speaking. Every time, Libra is 4. That's when fall season begins. You understand my point? That's when fall season, basically harvest. That is the beginning of the harvest. Libra is a cardinal sign, so the beginning of harvest. Now, Libra being harvest here marks the beginning of harvest, rather. The veil between the living and the dead started to thin. I know a friend of mine that also talked about how she started to see dead people, our loved ones that died. She started to, witness them paying visit to her. That's when she clocked it that, oh, this is actually what it means. And when people die, whether a public figure or a celebrity on that part, it's usually a ritual. For whatever reason, I don't want to go into that. That's not the purpose of this video. But primarily, when the veil is lifted, then the dead now walks amongst the living, which actually gives the ancestors access to come into this room. So in Africa, it is manifested as the masquerade festival. You understand? When the dead now walk in the land of the living, is what happens. And I just made a post today saying that the spirit or the soul of this innocent girl that was gripped and justice was not served is among those that are now walking to in the land of the living, and they have cried to Mother Earth, and Mother Earth has listened. That is why you see people protesting. Jupiter is in Cancer. Jupiter is exalted in Cancer. But where does Nigeria have the ruler of Cancer, which is the moon? It's in the sign of Aquarius, which is revolution. and protest. So that is what is currently happening now. But now in this video also, I also want to talk about the energy for next month, which is the energy of Capricorn. Saturn rules Capricorn. Nigeria has Saturn in Capricorn, which makes it a very strong energy for next month. And I said in one of my Instagram videos that we are going to be seeing the display of how the new tax reform is going to be looking like. And I think there was a news circulating recently that said there's a deadline that the government has given to a certain body to start deducting 10% or whatever it is that they said it was going to be done, as opposed to it actually happen in 2026. I say they said effective immediately they should start deducting. You see, all of these things are the pressure. You understand that it's currently happening now, generally on the continent. But Nigeria, we're expressing it in the form of tax because I don't want to go into all of those geopolitical stuff. You understand me? But the energy for the month is Capricorn. Capricorn is pressure, is challenges, is difficulties. And why do I say that? Because currently Saturn is still retrograding. And it's in Pisces now. It's supposed to station direct. That is when it's going to end retrograde. It's supposed to station direct in Pisces, I think on the 27th or the 29th, whichever about it's one of these two dates. And it's going to start going forward. But for the period it's still station, we are entering into the Capricorn timeline, which means where Saturn is by natal placement in the Nigerian chart, and then where it is also by transit. The energies are going to be playing out on that scale. So businesses are going to be facing a lot of challenges. Big time. I'm just telling you to prepare. That's also it is. Businesses are going to face a lot of challenges, but this is also the month of business. But the way business is going to go this month is business that requires serious strategic approach towards, because the energy is not going to be an easy one. It's not going to be an easy one. Challenges, and the seventh house here is relationship. It's also the government, and it's the sign there is the seventh house is the government. Politics, politician, the government, all that stuff, yes. Talking about that, because Pisces is the ninth place of Nigeria, which is the place of, exposition and, things being revealed. Things going out of, things being blown out of proportion and all of that stuff. So, with Saturn being in Pisces now, Pisces points to underworld dealings, fraud-related stuff. We might likely see government officials also being exposed for fraud-related stuffs in this energy that we're entering into. Tomorrow being the first, this is when this energy is going to take off. And I'm talking about the government here because, like I said, the seventh place is the government, the seventh house where Nigeria has Capricorn. Because Nigeria is a Cancer rising country, so Capricorn is in the seventh house, and that's where Saturn also is. So this is the planet of business. Business is going to be very challenging this month with Saturn going retrograde, especially those that are in the business sector, that Pisces in the case, that is the hospitality sector, those that are into short lets, hotels, is going to be quite challenging for them this period. Very, very challenging for them. You understand? It's going to be very challenging for them. Those that are into cosmetics, fragrance, perfume, shoes, those that sell shoes, socks, all that stuff is Pisces, Nightclubs, we might also see issues of nightclubs coming up also. Yes, we might see issues of nightclubs coming up also. And why I say that, when I see issues of nightclubs coming out, could be, could just be maybe someone, the government, going to a nightclub to just pick someone, could be in the form of the military, but I'm not necessarily seeing the indication of a military here, but we don't really know how that is going to play out. But yes, but this is also the periods where, in the realm of politics, a lot of night meetings. This is when a lot of night meetings, when they say they hold meeting at night, this is where a lot of night meetings are going to be held. A lot of political activities, very, very strong political activities are going to be going on seriously. It's underground political activities. The nature, because where Saturn currently is now in Pisces, Pisces is also ruled by Jupiter. And let's not forget, that will also trigger where Jupiter is now, whether by transit or by natal placement. So all of that underground dealings that has to do with the government, of how to facilitate, because the ninth place here where Pisces is in Nigerian chart, the ninth place is place of religion, and the sign that even sees there is the sign of religion and spirituality. So Talking about spirituality, there's one time I predicted in Anambra State when Venus and Saturn conjunct in Pisces, as a government is going to be taking actions towards religious activities, and that was when Soludo started to peak, went on rampage and was picking up DBS in Anambra State. That energy is looking like it again in this period. Yes. So it's looking like it. So you're going to see your pastors, governments, pastors, the big Jews and government officials are going to be in a meeting. And they are going to say things that will make you accept the invasion or the recolonization of Nigeria. They are going to make you believe that America is coming to save Christians. They are going to do all of that stuff. You're going to see it. The ninth house is also the media, and Pisces is there. Pisces is deception. The deception in the media is going to blow out of proportion. Why? Because the energy that rules this month is currently in that place. The new month we're entering into, rather, on the 1st, that is tomorrow. Which, when I'm doing this video, when you're watching the video, could be maybe on the 2nd or the 1st, because depends how. After I'm done, I'm going to upload the video, so you might get it tomorrow or next. But just know that I'm recording this video on the 31st. This 31st night, and I'm recording this video on the 31st night. So these are the things that we are going to be seeing now. So we are going to split up these timelines here. We are going to split up these timelines. So the possible indication of other revolutions too. Possible revolutions of other revolutions too, and issues with the bank, with the banking system. Issues with the banking system will occur somewhere within the timeline that this plays out. Issue with the banking system is going to occur, and also let me see. No, sorry. Okay, yeah. The media and the civil service, a lot of government activities, very heightened government activity, but it's towards the end of this timeline. This is when the civil service, stuff is going to be kicking in, and also the taxation law. The brunt of the taxation, the tax reforms, is going to be hitting on, first those in business. Then we are going to see the transition from those in business starting to make complaints, and those who, mechanisms have been put in place to deduct the money from their accounts start noticing some, preparations or actual deductions begin to raise alarms. And people, this might actually, hit a point where a protest might actually go on. And this protest now, from this timeline is going to start on the 11th. It's going to start on the 11th. I didn't write out. Anyways. So, likely that's the period where, banks are likely going to be very well carrying upgrades that will be needed to, interface, and like integration, the integration of the new tax reform system, or the mechanism that will be needed to, start deducting your 10% tax. You understand? That's when it's going to start taking, form. But this whole tax reform is very, very shady. It has this whole energy of fraud, scam, basically, written all over it. But yes, this month also, there's going to be all of the activities, because our Pisces is fraud, Pisces is Yahoo, it's scam, yes, it's deception, it's cosmetics. People in that line of business are going to be facing challenges this month, and government activities. So, Yahoo boys should be expecting visits from the government, any kind of government official per se, though. But, so because the fact that Saturn is going to be here, which means the ruler of Pisces, which is both Neptune by transit is here, but Neptune is also in Scorpio. Scorpio is the EFCC. So Yahoo boys should also be careful. It's going to be happening too in the new month that we're entering. That is the month of November, basically. Yeah. So there's timelines of people in the artisanship sector. This one is going to, I'm not going to mention the date. So there's indications of people who are into service, who render service, who are into the artisanship sector. In the artisanship sector, they are going to start, they are going to start making complaints. They are going to start making complaints. And being that Saturn is a sign of building, Saturn is a planet, not sign, sorry. Saturn is a planet of building. You see this artisanship thing? That is the wave that this whole taxation thing is going to affect. Business, those who are in commerce related, any kind of commerce, POS, people that deal with money, stuff. This whole tax thing is going to be affecting them seriously, and those that are in the artisanship sector too, and people that these things are going to be affecting. Hope you're following. But like I was saying too, as Saturn is in Pisces, the two rulers of Pisces, which is Jupiter and Neptune, wherever they are by transit and by natural promise, is also going to be triggered. Let's have that in mind. Neptune being in sign of Scorpio, like I said, Scorpio is EFCC. Jupiter, more like EFCC. Jupiter is school, is the education sector, so more like EFCC, invading school premises. Basically, just barging into school premises and you're a student. How are you able to afford Benz, or you're climbing and enter Hilux? That kind of stuff. Going to schools to pick up stuff, or maybe like not necessarily school premises, but maybe student lodges, places where students live. They just go to a lodge and boom, they just carry people. That stuff is, we're going to be seeing a lot of that stuff recently this period. So, business, building. A lot of buildings is going to be going. A lot of projects are going to be kickstart. Also, this hotel, building of hotels too. Or completion of hotel buildings. Some places where hotels are being built. Hotel projects are going to be kicking off too in this transit too. To this month, that's during November. That's another thing too. And also change also in the service rendering, or the nature of how the hotel business or shortless services are going to be are being done. Changes are going to be done. Shortless services, shortless sector is also going to be undergoing changes too. And a lot of stuff in the religious sector, a lot of stuff. We are going to see some we are going to be seeing some religious heads. You understand me? We are going to be seeing some religious heads, more like religious authority figures in the religious sector, in the religious, sphere of, whatever it is. We are going to be seeing them also this period. Like I said, they are going to be telling you a lot of things. There's going to be propaganda. Propaganda is going to be flying. Propaganda is going to be flying. They are going to be preparing your minds for the bigger invasion. They will mount the pulpit and they will tell you things that will suit your mind. You will think whoever is coming from US is coming to end the killings of Christians, but that's not it. You don't have to believe me. You will see it. You will come back to this video. You will watch, and you remember what I said. So buildings of hotels some hotels building are going to commence in this timeline too. Big time. And also some businesses, a friend of mine just talked about how when they're out there where they opening their new branch and stuff like that. Yes, that's that energy. And I think she works in a cosmetic store. Yes, she works in a cosmetic store. So that's also the indication of that, like launching of or opening a new branch somewhere. Yes, that's all what that energy is pointing to this month. The month we're entering to, which is November, right? Right. So you're likely going to see a protest. Anything from 11th to 28th, within that time range, you're likely going to see a protest. We're likely going to see a protest because this whole energy is giving protest. Because where Jupiter currently is now, the ruler of that sign is in Aquarius. So, like I said, women are going to protest him. But when I predicted that protest is actually going to hit proper, was there. But I also emphasize on this, just that I actually then said it could happen anytime here, but majorly we are going to be seeing a protest in December. It's funny because that's when people think there's going to be, people are going to be coming back, they are just got back people and all of that stuff. But really, it's not, it's really not just that. It's just not what it's just going to be. There's going to be protests in December for one reason or the other. But women are also tied into the whole stuff. But by then, I'm sure Uranus must have moved back into Taurus. So that protest could be money related. That's another thing too. Could be money related. Emphasis on money related. Because Venus is currently in Libra. Look, there's no way. It would have moved year and year. So somewhere around November, if it doesn't go retrograde here, it's going to be in Capricorn. Or wherever it is that it's going to be in. But nonetheless, when this guy moves back into Taurus, like I always often tell people, if you are still banking with the traditional banks, you need to be worried. There's OP, there's PAMPay, there's Kuda, there's all these fintech guys. You're not using them. You are using your traditional bank because you trust them. The fiat system is crashing. I've been saying that thing for over 2 years. The fiat system is going to crash. You see what is happening to the dollar? Because of the arrogance of the United States. Now BRICS are decided not to trade with the dollar. They are soon going to get rid of their dollar reserve. Very soon. Sooner or later, it does not matter, they're going to get rid of it. For those when I said that the money is the mark of the beast, that is the one world currency is the dollar. Every country in the world has a dollar reserve. It's the one world currency. It's a means of exchange for anything. You can have all of your coins, it does not matter. The dollar sits on top of it. Even when there are currencies that are more valuable than the dollar is the one world currency. But China is ditching that right now. BRICS wants to be able to do business without relying on the dominance of the dollar. And that is what America has been using to control the world. That's what they've been using to pull strings, rather. I don't like to use the word control. Because there's nothing you want to control. When I pull up my chart, I'm going to see what you're going to be doing in the next 2 months. That's why I told you people what is going to happen and it's happening. So how then is it control? And I can see it in each other, this thing is going to happen, and boom, it gets to that point, it happens. So what is the control? They pull strings. They do some things that creates an illusion of control, but that's really not control. If you look at it, if you have the time to want to engage your mind to look at it, you will really see that it's not control. So the energy is quite long. I will not be able to cover everything that's going to be happening in November. But these are the things that we are going to be seeing. A lot of it. It's the month of business. Business is going to go well for those who make efforts. Yes, that's just the truth. But businesses are going to be facing a lot of fraud-related issues. Now, why do I say that? Some businesses might be robbed. I need to say this for those that have business, for those that will click off maybe 7 minutes from the video. You will not hear this part, especially if you have business. You will not get to this part and you will not know, because these things, I don't plan them, I just have them in my head and I start making videos. So whichever one comes before which one. I'm not a content creator, so I'm not interested in making a hook in the beginning of the video to hook you in. No, I'm giving information that will help you. If you need hook, that's not me, then this is not where you're supposed to be. I'm giving information that will help you. I'm not trying to buy your attention. I should buy your attention for this information I'm giving you. No, nah. No, nah. You don't know. You want to hook. Oh, yeah, nah. If you have clicked off, fine for you. If you're still around, pay attention to me. Saturn is the energy for this month that we are moving into, which is November, and it's currently in Pisces. Pisces is fraud. Pisces is hidden enemies. Pisces is people that are planning to hurt you behind your back. So a lot of businesses, and the seventh and the ninth house where Pisces is in the Nigerian chart, right, is, like I said, is a place of exposition, exaggeration, exposition, things being exposed. Yeah. Making things, blowing things out of proportion so that it becomes so visible. That's what the ninth place is. And Pisces is there. All of those sneaky people that want to bring your business down, you're going to be exposed this period. A lot of businesses are going to report cases of either a staff that is working for them that has been sabotaging them quietly, secretly, without them knowing, but the person was discovered this month. The month I'm talking about is November. Let's not lose sight of that. That energy is giving that indication. A lot of fraud-related activities. Business are going to be prone to fraud this period if they play with their security. Emphasis on security. Emphasis on security. Saturn is the planet of security, but it's in the sign of Pisces, which is insecurity. And people might often say, Pisces is emotional insecurity, but it is also insecurity on a terrorism scale. Yes, because if we look at the fact that, the vernal point is still in Pisces, and man's consciousness is, giving indications to that. What's man's mentality is giving indications. So you will find that the age of Pisces has heavily been characterized by insecurities. And if you consider that the ruler of Pisces, which is Neptune, not by transit but by natal placement, which is a stronger indication, it's in the sign of Scorpio. Scorpio is death, it's insecurities, criminalities. It's criminalities. You're in business, you want to know. This is the month where you will know. It depends on which timeline your business is in, but generally, this is general for business. General, not everybody is going to know. Most businesses are going to know whoever is working against them. You understand me? Because the energy set for this month is 7th house energy. 7th house is open enemies, but the ruler of that sign is in the sign of hidden enemies. But it's in the 9th house, it's why I like it. I like it because hidden enemies needs to be exposed, and that is the place of exposition. That is place of exposition. A place of exposition. Pisces is secret enemies. It's insecurities. So anything that has been like sabotaging the security of your business and like stuffs, your things have consistently been stolen. Now, why do I say stolen? Because Pisces is the third place. Pisces is the third place of Capricorn. That is the third place, is the place of thieves. That is why the third house or Gemini is indicative of thieves, which is symbolic of the two thieves. Because Gemini is the sign of the twins or twos or couple. Now things are in twos. Pair is Gemini. So whether two brothers, twins, you've heard all of those stories about two brothers and twins and all that stuff. That is the sign of Gemini, which is the third place. So the third place of Capricorn is Pisces. The staff that has been sabotaging or feeding information, in feeding information, that's the third place too. So Pisces is the third place of Capricorn, feeding information to someone that has your security has been, you've put so much in security, but somehow there are criminals that are quite seem to be bypassing and getting away with whatever they are stealing. It's almost like there's an insider, but you can't even pinpoint who is even there. You will catch the person. Not all of you, but you will catch the person. You will catch the person. This November we are moving into that, and you're going to see these things in the media, which the ninth place says where Saturn is currently. You're going to see it in the media coming out. People, my staff has been sabotaging my business. No wonder I put so much in security, but my things keep getting stolen. I just couldn't make sense until this happened, and she was exposed. You understand what I'm saying? He or she, so that I'm using she. Emphasis on she because Pisces is a feminine sign. or it could be a he too. So he or she was exposed. Yeah, So these are the things that we are going to be seeing. You know, these are the things that we are going to be seeing. You see, a lot of businesses, a lot of businesses. Also, stuffs about hotels are going to be coming out in the news, and also nightclubs are going to be coming out in the news. Clubs of a nightclub, but we have to understand Saturn also rules Aquarius. I have a method with which to measure how these energies play out that I'm not going to divulge, but I'm going to tell you something. There might be issues of someone dying in the hotel, maybe as a result of drug overdose. Pisces is drugs, and the ninth house is when you overdo something. So, death as a result of drug overdose, because Saturn also rules Aquarius, which is the 8th house of Nigeria. So, yes, it carries the energy of death with it, regardless of though it is business, the energy of transformation. But when I'm saying death, I'm not necessarily carrying bad news, no, but the 8th house is death, as much as it's also transformation and change. So, a lot of businesses are going to actually experience that transformational change. That is when they've gotten rid of that secret enemy that has been working against them quietly without them knowing. Person might be smiling in your face and you won't know. But that's what Pisces is, illusions. Pisces is a planet of actors and actresses. The person that's working against you could be a very good actor. They know how to play a character that matches the kind of the kind of persona or the kind of person that you will trust. Yes, the facade, the shadiness. Acting is illusion because you're taking on a form, the character that is not you. It's fake. Taking on a character that is not you, it's fake. So, issues too with actors and actresses, not necessarily celebrities, but Neptune is in the 5th house of Nigeria. So, yes, celebrities too. See, I just keep going on with these things. There's so much that's going to be playing out. So, might actually be seeing issues of actors and actresses, business dealings with actors and actresses, and movie producers, which is what Saturn is production, producers. Pisces is movies. Might also hear issues in something about how stuff play out in the cinema is also going to leak out. And some stuff too, that has been going on in the movie industry. You're going to see actors and actresses actually drag themselves, these people, musicians too. I didn't say celebrities, so the people, whether they are celebrities or not, as long as they fall into the category of musicians, artists, designers, actors, actresses, they are going to come out in this sector. And I was also listing businesses that this month is also going to be challenging for. The new month is going to challenge for those that are in manicure and pedicure, spa people, all these people that do spas, facials and all that stuff. It's also them. That's Pisces too, so they're also going to be affected too. Yes. So actors, actresses, you hear them start dragging themselves, like a full blown out war, like more like a resentful thing, resentful energy you begin to sense between two of them, between two. Because Mars is currently in Scorpio now, so boom, if Neptune gets triggered here, you're very sure that Mars is beef, Mars is anger, Mars is animosity. This resentment too. So you're going to see that animosity, that beef between the actors, actresses, musicians in that sector. You're going to see them actually. But nonetheless, celebrities too. Why? Because Neptune is in the 5th house. So yes, celebrities too. Yes, celebrities too. So all shady deals of the government is actually going to be exposed to this month. Sorry, the month of November. It's this month. I'm recording this video. It's already past 12 midnight. So yes, this is the 1st of November. Yes. How did I even say 31st? No, I'm actually recording this at 12 midnight. So yes, we are in 1st of November. So when I say this month, I think my consciousness is already knows that we are moved into November. So that's why I keep You know, it's like I'm making a mistake, but it's really not a mistake at this point. It just clicked on my head, in my mind, and I guess. You know, so government, exposition, secret affairs are going. A lot of secret activities are going to be going on in the government this period. You know, a lot of fraud related stuff as regard to this tax reform thing is basically what this Saturn in Pisces is revealing to us. As at the time you are going to be enforcing it, if this thing takes effect this month, November, you are very sure that there are people that have backdoor access to small kobos and nairas that is added to the amount that is being deducted from your account for that tax. And they are going to get rich with it. Yes. Yes. Best believe that's Pisces. The deception, the shadiness of a thing. That's Pisces. There's a lot of shady activities. Some is going to be exposed that the government has been doing is going to be exposed. The government's involvement in, you know, whoever is coming from the US in the name of wanting to save Christians, you're going to see it too. You know? So I think that's that. Maybe if I make other videos about predictions, I will still touch on the energy. This energy for this month. There's a lot to still touch on, guys. It's just so much energy, things going to play out that I can't touch all in one video. So, but let's see if I'm going to make other videos and stuff like that. So, like as the sun is moving, it's changing signs. We are going to be seeing these things because another thing that is very important is the fact that Mars is currently in Scorpio. If Mars moves into Sagittarius, which happens to be the energy for this year, Sagittarius, the invasion is going to be bloody. You see, for the period that Mars is going to be in Gemini, yeah, the invasion is going to be mad. It's going to be bloody. Very bloody. Mars is blood. It's killings, it's murder, it's genocide, massacre, any kind of that kind. So if you think they are coming to save you, that's the dogma, that's the propaganda basically. That's what Jupiter, that's the energy for the year. And you see it this month, all that stuff I created, this month carries majority of it. But generally, we're going to see it happening. Pay attention. When Mars moves into Scorpio, I will do a video when Mars moves into Scorpio. I think within that period, I will do that video. I'll also throw more light on other things that the energy for this month points to. So until then, in the next video, I'll see you guys in the next video.